Hey there, my name is LexC, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I want to talk to you about changing the tone of your voice as the subject of your song changes. So not just relying on the instrumental of your song to dictate what kind of mood you're giving in the song, but also relying on your voice, your instrument, to tell people what they should be feeling or what they should be imagining when you are performing your song, recording your song. If this is something you'll be interested in, keep watching. The inspiration for this topic actually came from a session I had with a couple of my male clients. You have this song and it's different from what you usually do, but you're not giving me anything different from what you usually do as far as like the delivery he was giving and as far as like not being more creative with the ad-libs he was doing. He was following the same formula, the same kind of layout that he normally does, which, you know, the in and outs, the high notes, the regular ad-libs, but I had to take like a breather, a moment to be like, can you make this more sexual? And I didn't want to make it awkward because we're always bantering back and forth and low-key kind of flirting all the time. So I didn't want to make it awkward by saying this, but at the same time, they needed to know like, hey, you are growing as an artist, you're doing a different kind of song. I need a different kind of energy. I need a different kind of delivery from you. So that's where the whole inspiration for this topic came from. And I find this happens more so with my male clients and with my female clients, where literally my male clients will be talking about, you know, wanting to do something to some woman and how they want to turn the woman on. But the tone that they have for this new sexual song, it matches the same song they had for a song they were talking about shooting somebody in the face. Now that's an exaggeration, but the point stands, like, if you are doing a different kind of song, it's going to require a different kind of performance from you. So that's really what I want to harp on in this topic today. You want to make your songs sound slightly different each time you create something new. Now, granted, there is going to be a certain lane that you feel comfortable in. There are going to be certain kind of topics that you're more comfortable talking about. You want to make your songs slightly different so your listeners don't get bored with you. And there's just going to be a way that you perform and record your songs that's going to be comfortable for you, and that's going to be a majority of the time how you perform it. But when you're switching up the topics, as I feel you should, so that your listeners aren't getting bored, you should also change your tone of voice along with that. So I want you to think of your voice as an instrument. I don't know if you have had any kind of training or have done any kind of research on, say, like a piano, right? But I think a lot of newer artists forget this point. Your voice is an instrument. It is a part of the song. Even though it's the focus of the song, it is influencing the same way the beat, the instrumental is influencing the mood, your voice is influencing the mood of the song as well. So if you think about a piano, on a piano you can play major and minor chords. It's the same concept with your voice. You can make your tone of voice sound happy, you can make it sound sad, you can be angry, you can be playful, and just a bunch of different tones that you can take when you are recording your song. I always find it to be really interesting when I have my male clients come in, and as I said earlier, they are talking about, like, the lyrics are actually saying how they want to turn a woman on, they want to do this to her, they want to do that to her, but they're using the same exact tone that they had when they were talking about shooting somebody in the face in the song that they just recorded previously. And that's not sexy at all. So it's like, the way I was explaining to Chance when we were doing the song, it's like, you know, you want to be more sexual with this, but I'm a woman, I'm sitting right in front of you, and I'm not turned on by what you're doing. So how are you going to turn me on? Because really, women are going to be your biggest audience. And if you're not turning me on, a woman, it doesn't matter if I like your music or not. It's about the way that you're presenting it to me. It's the way that you're making my mind wonder, oh, what is he talking about? Or, oh, did I just hear him do this or that? And oh my gosh, I'm feeling a certain kind of way based off of how your voice is performing, how your voice is telling me what my body should be feeling in a way. And I don't want this video to be super awkward, but that's just the kind of thought process that I was explaining to him, like, you have to make me want you in that way. So do some things throughout the song that would make it feel a little bit more sensual, make it feel like, you know, if you had a woman in your bed, right? Or think about when you're on the phone with a woman and suddenly you're all laid up, you're comfortable in bed, and your voice is just like unnecessarily deep because you're trying to turn her on. You got a more hushed tone, a more quiet, soft tone, and even the way I'm speaking right now. So let me change how I'm talking because it's very assertive for the camera right now. I want to get my point across, but this tone of voice and this projection that I'm giving right now, it's not necessarily saying sexy, right? It says assertive, it says bold. But so I'm gonna try to change my voice. And even though nobody is watching because I'm recording alone, it's still kind of awkward. But let's just say I wanted you to react a certain way to my voice. And the way that I'm gonna do that, my tones are not gonna be as rushed. They're not going to be as loud. They're not going to be as harsh. I'm drawing out my words so you can really hear what I'm saying, so you can feel what I'm saying. And I'm putting more emphasis behind my words and just being more smooth, and my tone is a little bit lower, and I'm making sure that you really feel every word that I'm telling you right now. And that's the same way you have to do with your music. If you want someone to be turned on, switch it up, you know? Slow down your words. Make your voice softer if you're a woman. If you're a man, make your voice softer as well. When you are performing and recording these kinds of songs, say for instance, if you brought your homeboys to the studio with you, you can't worry about whether or not your homeboy is gonna think this is too soft or you being too feminine or whatever. It's not about your homeboy. Homie is not buying your music at the end of the day. If you are a male artist, you have to think about appealing to an audience that's going to buy. And time again, we see that women are the major contributors to a lot of economies when it comes to like clothing and entertainment and music, things of that nature. So if that is your target market, and in the song, you're talking about pleasing a woman, why would you not want your tone to be more sensual, more suggestive, more like, baby, come here, you know? You got to think about it as you're putting on an act, but not so much an act. You're actually putting into a recorded form what it is you would do, how you would act, your whole demeanor, your whole energy. You have to make that translate into the record to turn somebody on. So when I made the suggestion to him to be more sensual and be more sexual, say something that's gonna make a girl be like, ooh, I want you. That's when he started getting into the mic and he was like popping his shit a little bit. Like, what kind of things was he saying? He was saying, don't run, don't be scared, nah. But you say I'm too aggressive. Is that a bad thing? And just like his whole demeanor changed. And I was like, yes, that is what we need. That is exactly what we need in the song. And I think he understood what I was getting at. And I want to say that I changed the way he thought about how he's performing certain songs, how he records certain songs. Because in general, and this is for a whole different video, a whole different topic, a whole different discussion, when I hear a lot of my male clients come in and they talk about anything sexual with a woman, I'm a female engineer, and sitting across from them, looking across from them through the window, I'm not turned on by what they're saying. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, I hope this is not really how you talk to a woman to try to get her into bed with you, because this is terrible. This is tragic. I'm not turned on. I don't want to go anywhere with you. I don't even want you to buy me anything because you're just not turning me on. You're not convincing me that if I do this with you, you're going to satisfy me. In fact, you're giving me the opposite. You're making me feel like this would be a selfish situation. There would be no reciprocity. And I find with a lot of my male clients that come in, and just the tone of music in general, I don't like where it is. It's like guys are afraid to explore that softer side, that more sensual side. It's like they're even afraid to put it into the recording And you can just hear it in the way they talk about women in the music, like, oh, I took this bitch from this dude, or I did this to this bitch and slapped it in her face. And it's just like, there is a time and a place for that where that is attractive. But if that's going to be my first interaction with you, I'm not turned on. I don't know anything about you. You're calling me a bitch. You're telling me what you want to do to me, but you haven't even taken me to dinner or anything like that. I don't know. You haven't wine and dined me. Like I said, it's a whole different topic for a different segment, a different video, whatever. But the main thing I wanted to get across for this topic is you have to manipulate and shape your voice to express what you want people to imagine, express what you want people to feel. Unlike acting on a movie screen, acting within music, it's all about the energy, it's all about the frequencies, it's all about, if I close my eyes and all I have is your voice, what am I feeling? What am I imagining? You know? So when you approach recording and performing music from that aspect, you begin to understand how you can influence people's minds, how you can influence what they think about you, and how they react to you. And I just want people, new artists especially in general, to understand that exchange of energy from your voice to the microphone to this medium that everyone is going to be able to listen to through a Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, a CD, a vinyl, whatever. Think about how you are presenting this to the public. And to bring it all back to my original topic, especially if you are doing a more sensual song. And I don't know, this might also be for a different topic, but it just seems like guys struggle with knowing where to begin in, attracting a woman. Foreplay is like a foreign concept in a lot of the music that I hear with these newer artists coming in to record in the studio. And foreplay is not even necessarily a sexual thing. It could just be in the way that you're treating a woman, certain things that you're doing for her, the little comments that you make to her throughout the night on a date. There's this lost art of wooing a woman and making a woman want you before she ever lays eyes on you, before she touches you, really. That's basically what you want to translate through your song. I want this woman to want me before she's even seen me, before she's even been able to reach out and touch me. And how are you doing that in your music? Now, I might do another video where I actually have some examples. I didn't prepare that for this one, but just to kind of explain or close up what I had him do. He started popping his shit a little bit as if he was spitting game to a woman, and the kind of things that he might say to a woman either over the phone before they even get in each other's presence, or he changed his tone. He made it a little bit softer, a little less aggressive, more playful, but still mischievous. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same kind of banter you could think of if you were talking to your crush on the phone and you're like,
oh, come on, girl, you're not about to do that. You're not about to do that. Like, come on, what you playing for? You ain't about to do that. You're not about that life. Oh, for real? How about you come over and you show me what it's about then?
It's like his whole demeanor changed into that kind of energy. And they actually had the idea for me to come onto the song and make some sexual noises, because that's another part of it. Like, our voices are instruments, and there are so many things you can do with your voice, not just spitting off rhymes, not just spitting a super fast flow. Like, you can change the tempo of your flow. You can change the rhythm of your wording. It doesn't have to be the same all the time. And for me, the ad-libs, for this particular song, we chose to forego the ad-libs that he typically does. And we added in him talking shit in that low tone and that sexy tone. And then they wanted me to add in some sexual sounds like, moaning or just popping a little bit of shit to, just saying things in a really sensual, sexy way to, in my mind, when you put stuff like that, as a guy, when you put stuff like that into your music, it amplifies what you are telling your female audience you want to happen, or it amplifies what you want your female audience to feel. So if my female voice is on the track, if I'm a woman, honestly, I'm imagining like, if I had this dude in front of me, would I be making those same noises, basically? This is turning out to be a very sexual conversation. And I don't want it to be awkward, but it's facts, you know? You gotta think about these things when you are talking about certain subjects in your music. So I do hope that you were able to follow my train of thought in this video. And I hope that it gives you some things to think about as far as how you approach a song when you're about to perform it live, or how you approach a song when you're about to record it in the studio. What kind of feeling do I want my listener to have? When my listeners close their eyes and they use their own imagination, what are they gonna see from hearing my voice, from hearing my song? How do I need to manipulate my voice into making them feel those things? How do I manipulate my voice into making them imagine those things? Where can I take them using my voice? What world can I bring them to using just my voice and my song? And if you approach music in that way, I guarantee you will be able to connect on a deeper level with your audience than most newer artists coming out who don't even think about that aspect of music, that connection part of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe, follow me on Instagram at LexCATL. Also, support me on Patreon at patreon.com/LexCATL. That's LexCATL. When you support me on Patreon, you will see this content as soon as I upload it, not when I schedule it. I could have recorded this months ago. As soon as I uploaded it, you will see it as a patron versus the regular public who sees it on Facebook or YouTube. You see it when I decide it will be public. So support me on those platforms. Thank you so much for joining me today for this topic. Let me know about your experiences with recording. Are you able to connect with your audience by manipulating your voice, or what are some tricks that you use to change the tone of your voice when you are recording or when you are performing? Let me know about your experiences in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Lexi. Peace.